Welcome to Plot 27. At a music school in New York, a girl is playing the piano in front of her class. Her name is Alma. That day is Alma's last day at school, as she's returning to Canada. Alma has to go back home because her grandfather has passed away, and upon arriving in Canada, Alma is greeted by her uncle, Joe. Meanwhile, a baby lion destined for the circus is aboard a plane. Alma returns to the house where she was raised by her grandfather. Joe gives her a video recording from her grandfather before he passed away, and he hopes Alma will stay longer. However, Alma says she can't because she has to prepare for a piano competition. The plane carrying the baby lion experiences engine trouble due to bad weather, just as Alma is watching the video from her grandfather. In the video, her grandfather says he has a new friend, a female wolf. While Alma is playing the piano, she hears a loud explosion but can't investigate because of the storm outside. The next day, a wolf gets caught in a net set by two men, Charles and Eli. Alma is out looking for the source of the explosion she heard the night before, while Charles and Eli are disappointed because the wolf they captured has escaped. The plane transporting the baby lion has crashed, and the cub has fallen onto an eagle's nest. Alma encounters the wolf and helps free it from the net. It turns out this is the same wolf her grandfather talked about. The wolf recognizes her scent because Alma is wearing her grandfather's jacket. After the wolf runs off, Alma meets Charles and Eli. She gets angry when she finds out they're trying to capture a wolf on her grandfather's private island. Eli turns out to be a scientist who plans to return the snow wolf to its natural habitat. Alma eventually finds the crash site and sees the baby lion being attacked by an eagle. The lion falls right into Alma's arms. She takes the baby lion home. Soon after, the wolf returns with her cub and they hide under a table. Joe arrives and is shocked to find a wolf and a baby lion in the house. Joe suggests that Alma contact the forest rangers to take the animals away. Not long after, 3 forest rangers come to Alma's house. Rangers Richardson and Simpson explain that there was a baby lion on the crash plane that was being transported to a circus, but they haven't found it yet. Alma changes her mind about reporting the animals once she learns the lion will be sent to a circus. She watches the mother wolf nursing her cub, and the baby lion eventually joins them. Alma decides to care for both animals. The lion and wolf cub quickly become friends. While going through her grandfather's archives, Alma finds photos and articles exposing animal abuse in circuses. Alma chooses to stay on the island until it's close to competition time. She's delighted to see the 2 animal friends playing together. The mother wolf often returns to nurse them. Both animals grow attached to Alma. They follow her everywhere and even sleep beside her. Alma has to leave for 2 days to compete in the piano competition. The top 3 winners will get a chance to join the Los Angeles Philharmonic. Meanwhile, Charles and Eli manage to locate the snow wolf and sedate her. Alma finishes in the top 3 and is selected to join the Los Angeles Philharmonic. When Alma returns, she finds the house in a mess. The lion and wolf cubs are starving. She goes into the woods to look for the mother wolf, but can't find her and decides to care for them herself. Joe is stunned to find that Alma is still raising the lion and wolf. Alma explains her reasons and tells him she won the competition, but she rejected the offer to join the Los Angeles Philharmonic because attending music school was never her own dream. Alma has grown to love her 2 friends deeply. She names the wolf Mozart and the lion Dreamer. Winter comes. Mozart and Dreamer are now fully grown. Joe is frightened by the wild animals and concerned that Alma is living with them. One day, Mozart and Dreamer don't return for lunch. Meanwhile, a mother and daughter are boating nearby and step onto Alma's island to pick flowers, unaware that Dreamer was near them. Alma finds Mozart and Dreamer but panics when they suddenly run toward the mother and daughter. Alma tries to stop them, but she fell and fainted. Mozart and Dreamer protect the unconscious Alma. Joe grows worried and searches for her. When he finds her with the animals, Joe panics and calls the forest rangers and police. Alma is taken to the hospital with a concussion. The doctor says that without Mozart and Dreamer keeping her warm, she wouldn't have survived in the freezing cold. Hearing this, Joe feels guilty for calling the police. The rangers contact Eli to report the capture of a snow wolf. Alan, the circus owner, and his son Rafa arrive. Dreamer doesn't like their presence. Rafa plays classical piano music, Sensing that Dreamer is stressed, and Dreamer immediately calms down. Mozart is sent to a wolf sanctuary and is reunited with his mother, while Dreamer is taken to the circus. Alma regains consciousness, and Joe tells her that the animals were taken. Rafa grows fond of Dreamer and plays piano music for him. But Alan is cruel. He drugs Dreamer and begins training him for performances. Rafa is heartbroken watching this. Alma sneaks out of the hospital with Joe to find Mozart and Dreamer. They visit the ranger station, but Richardson refuses to reveal their location. Alma becomes furious, accusing the rangers of failing to protect the animals. She calls Eli to ask about Mozart, but he only says Mozart is safe. Alma tells Joe she's going to visit every circus until she finds Dreamer. Dreamer gives his first performance, and Alan takes him on a traveling circus tour. Mozart sees the circus convoy passing the sanctuary and digs his way out. Using his strong sense of smell, Mozart finds Dreamer and breaks him out. Eli and Charles investigate the escape. Eli calls Alma to report that Mozart is missing. Alma says Mozart is likely looking for his brother. Eli dismisses this, saying it's impossible a wolf can't have a lion as a brother. When Alan opens the cage, Mozart attacks him, and the brothers are finally reunited. Charles informs Eli that Mozart escaped the circus with a lion. Eli finally believes Alma wasn't lying. He visits Alma and explains that he acted because Mozart is a rare, endangered wolf. On the way back, Eli misses his flight, and the boat runs out of fuel. He and Alma then apologize to each other, and Eli reveals that Mozart and Dreamer are heading back home. He placed a tracker on Mozart's collar. Mozart and Dreamer stop at a store for food, but the terrified security guard sounds the alarm. The police were deployed because Mozart and Dreamer were seen in the middle of the city. Meanwhile, Alan managed to find Dreamer and was about to shoot him. When Dreamer was in danger, Mozart immediately ran to save his brother, but unfortunately he was shot. The drug that hit Mozart turned out to be a high dose that could kill him, but Rafa took Mozart's necklace and secretly gave him the antidote. After Alan and Rafa leave, Dreamer tries to wake Mozart. Eli and Alma track the collar signal to a bar, but Alan lies, and saying he found the collar by a river. Rafa then meets Alma and Eli and agrees to help them find Mozart and Dreamer. They search the forest while playing Dreamer's favorite piano music, and they finally find him. Dreamer leads Alma to Mozart, who is hiding in a cabin built by her grandfather, and they are all reunited. Alma tells Eli and Rafa she found Mozart, but suddenly Alan arrives and threatens them. Rafa explodes in anger, tired of pretending to be happy just to please his father. He reveals how much he hates how animals are treated. As police approach, Alma escapes into the cabin and asks Eli to tell Joe to pick her up by the lake. The police have been ordered to kill the animals, believing they are dangerous. But when they reach the cabin, Alma and the animals are gone. They escaped through a secret passage and arrive at the lake. Joe isn't there yet, while the police are getting close. Alma then tells Mozart and Dreamer to swim. But the problem is that lions are animals that are afraid of water. Dreamer decides to sacrifice himself so Alma and Mozart can escape. As they swim, gunshots ring out behind them. Eli and Joe arrive, but they are too late because Alma has already arrived at her house, but they don't see Dreamer. Alma feels sad because she has lost Dreamer, but then she sees something moving behind the bushes. Alma is immediately happy because it turns out to be Dreamer. He managed to escape from the police. Alma, Mozart, and Dreamer are finally together again. Alma holds a lakeside piano concert, dedicating it to Mozart and Dreamer. She says caring for two wild animals is her way of protecting them, and the film ends. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.